You're listening to the Educating Aiden podcast. Learning things he should probably have already known, one conversation at a time. Here's your host, Aiden.
Hey folks, thanks for joining us. We have a sponsor this week's show. I'm going to tell you all about W Tools Direct. They are a family-run business in Coal Island, but run by the Ward family who have over 30 years experience in the tool industry. They stock everything from hand tools, power tools, welders, compressors, and even small consumables such as copper washers, nuts and bolts and screws. They have a wide range of LED safety lighting for vehicles, yard lights, and personal safety lighting such as headlights and torches. So go over to their Facebook page as they put up new deals every single day. That's W Tools Direct. Just type it in the top of your Facebook. It'll pop straight up. So folks, today's guest has been called a champion of live music in Mid-Ulster. This year alone, he's put on 27 gigs in Cookstown. 27. We're in August. That's insane. And he shows no sign of stopping. Today's guest, Mr. John McVitty. John, how are you doing, bud?
I'm feeling very good after hearing that, to be honest. Thank you.
Oh, you're very welcome. Very welcome. Thanks for coming. So, John, let's get right to it. Tell us how you get started putting on gigs in Cookstown.
Well, me and my wife, Deborah, have been going to gigs for years. And we're 30 years married a couple of years back. And we decided to put something back in and have like a celebration gig for the event. And we were like stalkers of a certain band called Screaming Eagles. They're from Banbridge.
I'm sure they love that.
Oh,
Haven't you following them around?
We were their head stalkers. We followed them all the UK, being Ibiza the same, etc.
Ibiza?
Oh, Ibiza.
Ah, crazy.
Man, they were lethal. They were just at the centre point. They'd done an acoustic thing after. They were just outstanding, like, you know. Great guys. But anyway, we were stalkers of them. We were trying to get the Screaming Eagles to play for us, like, you know. And initially we didn't know where we were going to have it. So we eventually checked out. Have you ever heard of the Red Room?
No, where's that?
Well, that's a different concept. That's bluegrass, by the way. Bluegrass is played in the Red Room. So we checked that out, and awesome situation. Like, but
is that in Cookstown too?
It's in Cookstown too. You should check them guys. I'll tell you about that.
Oh, they're a band, are they?
No.
Oh, no. Oh, this is a location, the
It's
Red
a
Room?
location. I'll start talking about them instead of what I have. They actually do bluegrass, and they have bluegrass bands playing, say, all over Ireland, and they'll stop and play there, and you can bring your own wine or your own beer, whatever you want to do.
Lovely.
And there's a fee to the door, and the fee goes entirely to the band to help them with expenses on their tour, etc. It's fantastic, and they get top-notch band. I'm not really into bluegrass, to be honest, but they do a great thing. Okay, so we thought of doing it out there, and it felt good, but at the same time we realised there's going to be a lot of people coming.
Yeah.
So
this was to celebrate your 30th wedding anniversary,
30 years married. It's hard to believe, 30 years. How long are you married, by the way?
3. I'm 1/10 of the way there. Wow. You've been married my whole life.
Oh my God. I told you my eldest daughter's 31, that's right. Oh my goodness. Anyway, so we decided to venture out and decided to go to the Lanyon Hall. And it was a big undertaking because Lanyon Hall is quite big, to be honest.
Yeah, that's where Clubland used to be.
That's where Clubland used to be, indeed. So when you go inside and see the depth of the place and the just the history inside the place, it was just awesome. So we got to scream. They all how to put it? We said to do a charity aspect to it as well, like.
Okay. So
our heart was really close to Charis for what to do up at Lochfade. They have a retreat up there, or have people convalesce, or various other aspects of the health involved, the mental health, whatever involved with. I'm probably talking about the wrong thing for them, to be honest, but anyway, that's what Charis have their base up there, and we'll do for that there. So we raised about almost £2,400 for that, which was class at the time, to be honest. Going like,
brilliant,
blown away. We had people from all over the UK came to it and going like, wow, Scotland, guys in London, guys in Birmingham. I'm going like, wow. But anyway, the Screaming Eagles, they were the main band out that day, and they were outstanding. And we got a few other bands that were playing there, and it's like fell in place. We're going like, you know, maybe get a few more local bands involved, like, you know, highlight the people that there's bands here that,
yeah,
you know, they're worth hearing, like, and you know, maybe you could hear them in the pub, or you could hear them somewhere else and appreciate their music. Because when you're playing Lanyon Hall, end of the day, you're not there to have a party yourself. You're there to hear the band. That's what it's all about. The sound system set up.
Yes, it's set up like a small concert venue then.
Oh, that was awesome. Our Jerry, he done the sound. It was fantastic. So the whole sound on the stage was just outstanding. So we had different aspects of music just to get people to, obviously people would turn their nose up and go like, oh, there's a metal band playing. Wow. They actually enjoyed them. And they were called Dunham Die. And the lead guitarist of the band's called Tommy Marshall. And Tommy set the new record for Lanyon Hall to sprint round playing guitar at the same time. A full lap of the way home. With metal, the sweat was dripping off him. But he was awesome. People actually afterwards said, man, they're good. They're so good. I go like, yeah, aren't they? But it was just the first time they probably ever heard metal.
Yeah.
And they were brilliant. So as I say, we had Smoking Gun. That's John McLaughlin and his band. John was singing that day with young Nicely Hazelton and Stevie in the drums. Brilliant. And a few guys actually videoed it and proper sound and all, like, and they're on their stuff. A guy called John Kerr. Outstanding. Anyway, another band played called the Picassos, and they're all guys wearing different coloured suits, and it just turned into a fantastic night. We had about 150 people there. And people are assuming, it's not going to work, it's not going to work. So you realise in the day, if the music's good enough, people will come to hear it, especially if it's quality music. And we realised in the day, this is good, But we let it lie for a while. And I suppose it lay for about 8 months, whatever. Like, still went to all the gigs. Like, as I say, I term myself as a gig monster. Just go to gigs continually and follow certain bands. Like, as I say, we stalked the Screaming Eagles and another English band called the Massive Wagons.
And you've got them in the back of your phone.
Oh man!
Yeah, show everyone.
Can you see that? Even the right way up. It is the right way up.
Class.
Massive Wagons. Well, they played a couple of times over here. There's a place called the Diamond Rock Club in O'Huckle.
Yes, I've heard of that.
There's another place very close to our hearts too, because it's good quality music, and we like the actual live rock bands that play there, like when they're playing there.
But even O'Huckle it's far enough away.
Well, that's another wee side thing we have. We have like a wee bus thing. We run people backwards and forwards to various gigs. But that was where it all started. Was we run to the Huckle.
Yeah.
And we 16-seater, and it turned to be maybe a dozen was headlining the day, like minimum money in the day, like, and went and enjoyed the music. Awesome. So the Wagons played there in 2016. Wasn't that many there, to be honest, but who were there, they enjoyed it. It was awesome. Okay. So stayed in our house in the day and go like, we got the Wagons staying in our house. Wow.
Crazy.
Oh man, it was mental. What a bunch of guys, superb guys. So they came back and played it a year later, and obviously word got around, these guys are good, like, what are we going to do, like? So we went from a 16-seater to the 33-seater and packed that out too, and then brought the band back as well, like. And it was awesome band. Sound that night and the Diamond Rock Club was brilliant. And the Screaming Eagles, by the way, were playing support the first time they played that. In fact, sorry, that was the wrong way around. Massive Wagons played support to the Screaming Eagles the first night.
Oh, right.
It was just heaven. Just heaven. So that's where sort of manifest. And we're like, maybe we could do gigs ourselves. Bring some of these bands, not the big bands of the day, because man, you couldn't do it, like. But let's bring some of these bands to us. Mm. So we seen a guy called Chris Todd and the Hard Chargers. More like a folksy blues band in the day, but we were rocking it too. Like, he's very good in the guitar, but it's a different style of voice singing, and he's very unique in his own way. So we got him to play in the house.
In your own house?
In the house. We're going to get.
What was he, just playing a guitar and?
He had a guitar, the guy in drums, and the bass player.
You had a full drum kit in your house?
Oh, full shit was there.
Your neighbours must have loved you, man.
Well, quite a few of them actually come in, actually enjoyed it, to be honest, and they're going like, hey, this is all about, like, but come in and I enjoyed it. And we had about, I'd say about 15 to 20 people there, like, spread around the kitchen, wine going, hot whiskies going. Hot whiskies were killing me, like, but hey, it was great. So you played for about an hour. I'm not joking, it was awesome, like. And there's wee things, wee things you have in your head, like, something I want to do, like, let's get a gig in our own house. And you go like, that's class.
Who would ever think of that? I would never in my life think of having live music in my house. Probably because I've got 100,000 children living on it. But that's insane, man.
Oh, it was brilliant.
Like, most people, wives would be going, yo, whoa, what are you doing?
Well, she wasn't too enthusiastic at the start, I must admit, like, but then she sort of came around to, like, she realised at the end of the day, how good it was.
Yeah.
Like sitting having a glass of wine in your own house, watching the band play.
Yeah.
And you go like, how can life get any better? But it can, and it did. But they were awesome. So he says, look, if we can get 20 people into the house to have a bit of crack, enjoy a band, and the band enjoy our company as well as theirs, this could work, you know. So then was a problem, like, where do you go next? Like, you can't have 20 cars parked outside the house and parked over there. There's guys parking the health centre, walking over, and I'm going, wow, what's going on here? Like, you know, into the back gate and all, like, and then, like, awesome. Anyway, what are we going to do, like? So we, I said, let's go to a pub.
Yeah.
So we went to Marquin's, Manus Barry and Fish. So I tried to explain this about Manus Barry. Manus is going like, oh, you know, might work.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Manus, it'll work. On a Tuesday night, you're closed anyway. What are you going to lose?
Oh, you were going to do it on a Tuesday?
Deadest night of the week. The deadest night of the week.
Big time.
So they are. Manus, he says, will it work? Manus, wait and see. So the first night we got your man back again, Chris Todd, on his own. He's actually known as Lonesome Chris Todd. So he played on his own by the corner of the bar, so to speak. So the whole bar could hear it. But it was different. In other words, most nights you sit in the pubs, you've played before.
Yeah.
People aren't there to really hear the band. They're there to
Oh, certainly not.
have too many pints. Or
The band is background music. Like,
Exactly.
That's all they are.
Well, he was a focal point under the obviously. And people are just sitting, staring, watching. All his mistakes, all his whatever, like, you know, loving it. So he loved it. And that's where it manifested from. That was the first one we had. That was in Wagons. And it went down a treat. We had 30 odd people there. I'm like, this can work, you know. This can work. And it wasn't a money-making exercise of any shape or form. It was just getting live music in, get the posters out, promote it through Facebook and through friends, etc.
Dude, talking to you, like, before we started doing this podcast, you love what you do. You know, there's no, this isn't a money-making aspect. This is getting good live music at your door and just enjoying it.
Exactly. In other words, whatever money comes through goes back to the band. In other words, obviously they have things to pay. They've got their own CDs promoted or whatever, like, and that's the way it develops, you know. And then it just fell into place. It was fantastic. And I could lead you through various other people who came and played after that. The next guy came along was a guy called Matt Fitzsimmons, and he was lead singer of a band called the Gasoline Outlaws, who we actually were stalking a bit too, like, to be honest, you know.
There's going to be a lot of restraining orders put out.
Oh man, it was cool. We actually seen their first 4 live gigs, and they go boom, 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 and you go like, oh, from the Diamond again.
He's probably trying to figure out what relation you were. Is he an uncle?
Is that my dad? All right, okay.
Not again.
So we followed them a bit for a while. Like, they actually went and played. It was like a battle. I wouldn't say battle, that's the wrong word. Where the best bands at that present time in the UK all played a set.
Like a showcase as opposed to a battle of the bands.
And every one of them got a recording contract with the HUH crowd. And they tried and we'd over the same. It was in Sheffield. It was awesome, man. Oh, absolutely awesome. And seeing so many different other bands who were there. And always you're building contacts up as you go along of who people are like, and it was just superb. Anyway, so he sang. He was the second guy that sang in Mark Wins. He was a 40, turned up for that. And he's only a short guy. He's not maybe saying like, but he's not the tallest, okay. But his voice is unreal, like, you know, absolutely brilliant. Starting to hoarse now again. Anyway, he was starting to. It was just awesome. And then the third gig we had in there was Morey Wales, was an instrumental blues band, and they played the very back of Mark Wins there. And as I say, on a Tuesday night we were getting 40 people in there.
And that's a band. There's no singing.
No singing. They were instrumental at that time.
That's mental.
Oh, it was awesome. Ramsey Gibson lead guitar, and Bob Hutchison on bass, and Ray Best on the drums. Great sound, absolutely great sound, and people are loving it. So every time there's a different gig, the crowd changed because the 2 first nights were acoustic, and then it was a live band. The crowd changed.
Yeah. And
then you realise on the day, it really is potential to have a live thing here on a Tuesday night, whatever it is, and that's just the way it manifested. Then we realised we had to. No offence to the Mark Wins, we had to move to bigger premises.
Yeah, because Mark Wins quite small. If you've never been in it, so what's the capacity? 50?
Oh,
would it even be?
40 was hitting. A lot of people stand about as well, like, so, you know. So we went to the railway. George Booth took us on, and we've been there ever since, and it's been fantastic.
Well, what's the capacity in the railway?
We haven't tested that, to be honest. We've had our biggest so far. We've had 75, and that was for Denver McCord. There's a local guy here in Cookstown, and that was awesome, man. 75 people standing watching the guy play, like with his band, and it wasn't a full electric band. It was like an acoustic sort of scenario. It was awesome. 75 people, like. So we were charging them £5 in, and then George was putting a supper up.
Was putting on food?
Food as well.
Food on a show for £5.
£5 on a Tuesday night.
You try go to a theatre and see what you get for £5.
Well, you went and ate the supper though.
You don't get through the door. Like what's the average ticket cost for a show now? 2-hour show, what's 15 quid?
I'm sure it is.
Yeah, it is. Well, 3 times what you're charging.
We're trying to keep it cheap in the day. In other words, you know, some of the people are sort of balking, not paying money to see a band, like, you for real? Well, it's your choice, pal. Either you pay or you don't come in, it's up to you, like.
Yeah.
So, we've had a couple of people in, they got to be withdrawn a bit, that sort of thing, but 99% of people loved it. And we have people now travelling, I say, from the North Coast, Castle Rock, Portrush coming down on a regular basis. People from around the Morey and again, obviously a regular no one's local type thing. Once they've seen a band they know and play, they'll come back to hear the next one. That's awesome, man.
That's great. It must feel great to know that this is now something that's on your doorstep. You know, as opposed to something you're having to go afar to get. You know, and you're able to bring that to not only your friends, but people you've probably never met before, that you're now meeting through this love of music.
It's amazing the amount of people you meet in the day and the appreciation. You can actually see it in their faces. In other words, you know you've had a good night and you see the guy stand smiling.
Yeah.
And he's actually blushing because he's smiling probably as well. Like, you can see them and you go like, fuck, that's good.
Yeah.
I love that. And that's something in the day that gives you more pride than else, actually seeing people enjoy what's happening. So we have a lot of guys who are actually playing bands, like as I mentioned, Smoking Gun earlier on there, John McLaughlin, etc. John McLaughlin loves what we're doing. Okay, and he's a guy who plays the guitar. He's fantastic, by the way, on the guitar himself. Like, I'm bumming you up, John, by the way, bumming you up. He doesn't need bumming. But anyway, he's a passion for it, okay. And this works not just through me, but other people. In other words, you're sharing, you're telling people, you're telling stories about how good this place is. And it's all good. And when people hear how good it is, they come. And you can see from week to week, you can see the change in the crowd or even the age group of people who come along, because certain people are younger and older, obviously, in the day. Recently we had the Rupperman play, and some of the guys in the band are regular attenders at it, like Johnny Donnelly and young Johnny Ryan. So Johnny Ryan's a young cub, like, you know. But because he's there, the younger crowd comes in as well, like his girlfriends or his sisters, whatever it might be, like. Yeah. And that brings a different scenario to the scene, which is fantastic. In other words, you get the different age groups coming in. The first night we had actually Smoking Gun play, and they're guys around my age as well. Like, well, Johnny's a wee bit younger, but 6 months younger than me. But anyway, their kids and members of the band, their kids come along before they went to Time Bar. We were going like, wow, we're getting 20-year-olds in here.
Yeah.
And they were loving it. And then they watched us going, it's 10 o'clock, time to go to Time.
Yeah.
But they loved it. So if you can please that age group, then you can please anybody, to be honest, you know.
But it shows there's a taste for live music, even like, because people just assume that young people want DJs.
Yes and no.
There's an assumption there that in the locality, if like a bar is putting on entertainment, fair enough, a DJ be alright.
That's right.
Know, or a 1-piece or a 2-piece, it'd be fine.
That's right.
You know, somebody's playing covers, and the man who's out there busting his ass doing original material, you know, putting hundreds upon hundreds of hours into his work, he's getting overlooked for somebody who's playing fucking George Ezra. You know,
that's very true. But also the younger group follow their peers. In other words, if somebody says, you know, if a DJ says playing somewhere or whatever it might be, like, they all go to it because they all want to be seen together.
Yeah,
it's only the brave ones want to hear the rock and roll. The really brave ones. I'm tapping the table there.
Oh, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. The because rock it has always had a culture here. You know, there's never been a time, you know, like country music got massive there a few years back, but rock has always been there. You know, it's always been, like, you had the Common Rooms in Dungannon there, was doing a lot of rock for a long time, and then it went under, and then there was kind of nothing for a while around here.
You had Lulu's recently there, over there.
Oh yes, that's right, you had Lulu's.
Where we struck the Screaming Eagles again. They played there, by the way.
Oh, they played there as well?
It was an awesome night. Chris Fry, the lead singer, but he has a habit of drinking Buckeye.
Right.
When he's playing, okay. I wouldn't say it's a full bottle to start plus an empty bottle at the end.
They always come full.
Oh, they do well. Oh man, their music's so good. I'd always recommend any people who want to hear a real live band. There's actually so many good live bands in this country. People don't realise how good they are.
But that's what I mean. There's some fantastic talent, and artists are out there having to make the choice between, do I go where the money is and do covers, or do I go and do the thing I actually love doing? And that's, to me, that's a sad thing for some people. You know, they can't support their own art through performing their art.
I agree.
You know,
it's hard to get guys who can do the original stuff. We have guys come and play original stuff. As you mentioned earlier on, Shamie Donnelly and Johnny Armstrong.
Oh yeah, the Little Bitter guys.
A Little Bitter.
Yeah,
wow, what
amazing.
a band. They're fucking amazing, by the way.
I can't say anything because they all know me and they're going, what are you about to say, you dick?
Well,
That's a crack, lads.
what did they played at our place. I'll say our place. I mean our gig in January. And it was that night it was like a Game of Thrones night with the snow. I mean, it was battling down to you. I could hardly see you in the snow. That's how bad it was that night. We had guys outside doing snow angels in the footpath.
Brilliant.
And you're going like, what the fuck is this? So I went over and picked up a few of them up in the, well, not the drop, but a few of them over, and brought a few of them over. And I was dreading all the way over, and this fucking snow, look at it, Jesus. What
You're not going to have anybody in the...
Nobody in the place, you know. I'm going like, pulled up, parked up, wandered in. 39 people on a Tuesday night to see them in heavy snow.
That's impressive, like.
What a night. What a night. Of all their stuff. They're brilliant. I've seen them so many times. Awesome band.
They're great. I used to sing with the duo, like a wedding band and a pub band called Kingpin.
Yes,
Jimmy and Johnny. And I used to sing with those guys. They are fucking insane. There's no, like, I try to match the level of energy those guys bring, but like, I need a jump starter.
Well, I have to ask, do you do the bar stool one, do you?
Certainly not. certainly not. I wouldn't even attempt it because it would end in me being in A&E. Like that's the only way that ends.
Yes. One of my muckers who goes to the gig all the time, like when they're playing, like he's ready with the stool. He's just ready, waiting to push the stool out. I
actually heard somebody one night who was it? I think it was Barry Taff was telling me that he seen them one night. They were on a table. On a bar stool. So the bar stool was on the table, and then I think it was Johnny on top of that again. Crazy people.
Oh,
crazy.
Man, fantastic band live. Absolutely
amazing.
Fantastic. And they're very genuine guys, which I really adore them for. And they're really genuine guys.
Oh, yeah. Massive.
We had them actually play a second time, not as Little Bitter, but we had them play as the big rock band.
Yes.
And that was during the Cookstown 100 weekend. Awesome. Just the old anthems, and then there was all covers that night, obviously, but
yeah.
Oh, mental.
But they do them so well.
Oh, and the mucker's still waiting with the chair.
The chair still has to
He was waiting with the chair.
And he's not paid. He just knows.
He's just the main prop. He just knew when. So when's the next big gig for yourself that you're putting on? Our next gig would be next Saturday.
What day? So today is the 9th we're recording this. So what's
Saturday the 17th? And for a change, we're going in a different aspect, just to see the crack and give it just something different. It's going to be a metal night.
Oh, metal?
Metal. So we're going to have different. Believe it or not, there's so many different kinds of metal. And to me, it's hard to explain. I can't explain it, by the way. We have Acid Age, who are thrash, but they say they're jazz thrash.
Jazz thrash.
What the fuck that is, I don't know. But I haven't seen them play, so I can't say. I'm going blind. So many people. Jude Milk is their lead guitarist, and he's a well-known guy around Cookstown. And people talk, you want to hear Jude play? Okay, let's give him a chance. If he says he can get people to play, or people come hear him play, then let's do it.
Brilliant.
So I was always giving the finger to myself.
You flipping off the audience.
Sorry,
thanks, John. Lost 6 subscribers there.
You've only 5 left. What's going on? What are we going to do?
-2.
So Acid Age, they're playing. Okay, so they're unknown quantity. Okay, the middle band's a band called By Any Means, and they're like a hardcore punk.
This is all in the one bill, is it?
It's all in the one bill. 3 bands playing for a $5, by the way. Once again,
3 bands for a $5.
$5.
Dude.
And it's going to be different. There's going to be people walking past the side, walking their dogs late at night, they'll be going like, what the? And you just see their faces, like, you go like, what is that? Anyway, and then the third band is a band called The Crawling, and they're from Lisburn direction today, and they're like a death metal type band, they've played Bloodstock. Bloodstock's on this big game, by the way, in London, or not London, in England, Londonshire, England, and that's one of the big festivals for metal. And they've played there, which is awesome.
Brilliant.
Acid Age, they've done European tours. I've told they've been a big band. Okay, so I always slag Joe to get a chance. I was overseeing Rouge Tattoo recently over in Europe there. I opened for Rouge Tattoo a few years back. I just get the fuck.
You did, yeah.
Yeah, of course you did. I did. Seriously, I did. So we had a lengthy chat. We were at Bappers there at the weekend, by the way. Were you at Bappers? No,
I wasn't up at it.
That's Kieran Campbell's and David White's thing they're on about there.
Yeah, they run that last year as well, didn't they?
Awesome. Was there last year too. Awesome.
Oh, you're wearing the t-shirt.
In fact, I am. Sorry, it's not for advertising.
Kieran said there's still some t-shirts available. People are after them. They're going to be at your gigs, aren't they?
They will be at the next 2 or 3 gigs. Indeed, it will be. So if you want to buy t-shirts,
fantastic.
I don't model them very well, to be honest, but
well, the black's very slimming.
It is. It is. It has a lot of.
Must put 2 or 3 of them on.
By the way, Bappers was excellent at the weekend.
I had so many plans for the weekend. There was so much stuff on, and got none of it done. Took this massive migraine. So I was going to try and get to Bappers, and then Belfast Rocks was on, which was all like 80s bands. That's my kind of scene.
A few mates went to that.
So I was going to try and split my day and go to both, and ended up in bed thinking I was dying. So I missed out on everything, unfortunately.
Yeah, we were fortunate because a lot of the bands that actually played at Bappers, I've played in at our gigs in Cookstown Rock and Blues.
Brilliant.
Which it gives you sort of a lot of pride. And those people who go to the gigs will realise, well, fuck, they've played in Cookstown. Wow. Yeah. We had Mark Casey's band. Mark Casey, Johnny Ryan, Jonathan Donnelly, and Bob Hutcherson.
Reaperman.
That's the Reaperman. Can't tell you who's don't know his name, like, you know. The keyboard
he's sitting at home now in the fetal position.
He's going like, what's he talking about?
John, why did you forget me?
Do you know my name? Anyway, they were second on after Midnight Station, and they're another bunch of guys. This is the thing about we have going this thing. Okay, we're guys who go to the gigs. If you're in a band and then you tell me you're good in the day, or somebody says behind me, he's in the band, he's good, like, you know.
Yeah.
You get to play, okay, and you have your night.
Yeah.
It's your night. You play your whatever you want to play. You want to play original stuff, or you want to play covers. That's entirely up to you. Like, whatever comes through the door, it's yours, okay. And that's the way it works. And it's simple format, and because you do it that way, in other words, your friends of friends of friends will come along with various bands, etc., and it works. And if they're coming along to enjoy other bands, obviously it must be good because they're enjoying it.
Yeah.
And that's the sort of confirmation you get. In other words, once you realise people are smiling and they're on a regular basis, you know it's good. We had a band from Cork come up in, it must have been at the end of March, no, end of April. Crow Black Chicken.
What?
Crow Black Chicken.
That's their name?
That's their name.
Crow Black Chicken. That's great. Oh, what kind of music did they play?
It would be like bluesy rock. More emphasis on both sides. I know it sounds silly saying like that there, but what a band. What a band. They played on a Friday night because they played in Dublin the night before with the lead singer of The Answer, Cormac Neeson.
Mm-hmm.
So Cormac was out on his own. He's an album White Feather, I think it's called, and they were doing support. We had more in Cookstown on the Friday night than they had the previous night in Dublin. We had 50 odd there, and he says it was touching 50. That's what it had in Dublin. I said, we have more here seeing you in Cookstown than in Dublin. He says, yeah. Oh, we had some crowd. They were simply awesome. And he's got a big beard down about here, like, you know. Now you've got a child's beard.
I've only a wee baby one. I've only a wee baby
beard down a bit here.
Mark Casey keeps telling me that, you know, it's only a baby beard.
Oh, baby beard.
Baby beard.
Okay.
I grew it for the show. We're doing spectacular in the Burnavon in September, and I have to grow out the big curly mustache. So instead of growing out a big curly mustache for the next however many weeks, I grow the full beard out and then I'll trim it in, and then only look like a psychopath for 4 or 5 days instead of the whole time. That's the plan anyway.
I'll have the windows closed that weekend, okay?
You probably see me around Cookstown in a long coat. A big curly mustache.
So Halloween's going to be your thing, obviously.
It's my jam.
Superb. Brilliant.
So who do you have in that that's your next gig is Saturday week? Well, it'll be this Saturday if you're watching this because it can come out on Monday. So who do you have in after that?
Well, the following Saturday we have another local band called Morey Wales, who was the band that played instrumental in Mark Wins. So they have a lead singer, and he's an absolute star showman. He's one of the best showmen I have seen the front of the band. He's incredible. Like we call him Pablo.
Pablo? Where's he from?
Bangor.
Pablo from Bangor. I was expecting like Madrid, Barcelona. No.
That's what I thought first of all too. Pablo from Bangor.
Pablo.
Oh, he's from here. He's not. You just call him Pablo. It's just a nickname.
Oh, it's a nickname. So his parents didn't hate him then.
No. But he's an awesome. They're really a band worth seeing. It's like 70s, 80s rock type thing. Maybe even earlier, like 60s, 70s type rock.
Class.
And it's real music.
Yeah.
And he's got them bongo drums as well at the front.
Oh man.
So he takes the odd notion, he'd play the bongo drums while the drummer's playing as well at the back. And
yeah.
It's like a different sound, but it's also entertaining to watch.
Yeah.
And that's probably another aspect of what we do. In other words, people are coming to the gigs are coming to hear the band.
Yeah.
They're not going there for a natter about what they've done during the day or what they're going to buy next week, whatever. Or they're building a garage. Or I hear sometimes at gigs, and somebody stand talking to me, say, "Tom, building a garage." You're like, why?
Aye.
Anyway, they're there to hear the band. And there's a young guy played there recently called Darryl Quinn. He's called Busker Man in his own right.
Yes.
And he was blown away by so many people standing, staring, watching him play. He's not used to people actually listening to what he's singing.
Yeah.
His own material is excellent. So he's playing support to Blackwater Conspiracy, local icons.
And when are those guys playing?
They're playing Tuesday the 27th of August this month.
This month.
And that will be a big night. I have a feeling that they might have to close the doors, and I know it sounds ridiculous, but because you don't do ticket aspect, whoever comes to the door first,
It's just first come, first serve basis.
Serve.
And what time do your gigs normally start at? What's a good time, say if somebody is listening to this and they're going, that sounds really interesting, I want to get to one of those gigs, what's a good time to head out?
Well, George runs a bar. Like George will like you there any time, to be honest.
From about 1:30 in the afternoon, just start drinking and there'll be music shortly.
To be honest, you'd probably not be able to hear anything time comes the evening, but normally it would start around about 8:30. We'd expect people there for 8:30 and be settled. There is a bit of seating, but there's not that much. But people like to jostle for the best standing position near the bar, otherwise and just turn around and go, mind. But from about 8:30, and that's where we normally jig it. And depends on the band. Like we never tell people what to do, so we're going to play for an hour and a half. Fill your boots.
Yeah. Like 8:30's a good time. Like it gives you time if you're working, time to get home, get something to eat, get showered and get back out. You're no mad crazy rush.
Well, sometimes the end is a bit of a problem.
Yeah.
Because some people you have to tell, like, that's enough.
I don't forget tomorrow's Wednesday.
But it's not a bad thing. We had a guy who's a Rory Gallagher tribute band. He's called Barry McGivern.
Yes.
I really forgot the name there, Barry. Anyway, Barry played. Midnight he finished up.
Midnight on Tuesday.
Midnight on Tuesday.
Dude. It's all fun and games until Wednesday morning the alarm clock goes off and you're going,
yeah, that old fuzzy head, like, and it wasn't through drink, it's just I'm tired. But he was awesome.
Yeah.
He puts a good show on, and he's entertaining. He's another guy, actually, he just loves playing.
Yeah.
See, a lot of guys that come, actually, there's no aspect about, how much, the question is not how much money can we make.
Mm-hmm.
They're there to actually enjoy playing themselves. And that's probably the beauty of the whole thing. And the realised concept, it's about enjoying the music.
Yeah.
If you can get a crowd in, well, you're going to get well rewarded.
Yeah.
And it's worked. And like Barry came down, he didn't really even care about the money. He said, "Look, I'm just here to play." And he's the old stuff, the old sound equipment, so like the 70s and 80s. These things away, you have muscles up to here, like carrying these things, like bloody, they'll never get stolen because they're just way a ton, like
nobody's gonna lift them.
Plus the one the vehicle goes down like that. You're going like, wow. But anyway, he was awesome. And a lot of the bands we've had, and they were like, man, it's been brilliant, like
So tell me this: you say you've been to a bunch of gigs. You're a self-proclaimed gig monster, is what you said.
I would be, yes.
What's your top 3 favourite bands that you've seen live?
You see, you can break this down to categories because then you're such a gig monster, okay? But some of the best bands I've seen are actually here in Northern Ireland.
Right.
And unfortunately, the main band that we adored Like we really stalked these guys. We stalked them. Was Triggerman.
Triggerman, I've never heard of them. What do they do?
They would be heavy rock, almost in the metal. They never, and all my time hearing them play, I never heard them play one cover. All their own stuff. 20 odd songs they could play. And it was just phenomenal. And because we stalked them that much, when we had our 30th anniversary gig, Bap, who's the lead singer of the band, and he was down at it. I couldn't believe it. I was wearing a Triggerman t-shirt as well, going like, fuck, Bap's here. Even with the shirt on, wow. But anyway, Triggerman.
Incredible.
Oh, wow. And Triggerman used to do double headers with Screaming Eagles in the Diamond Rock.
Yeah.
So if you can imagine, as I say, both are fantastic bands, and both are double heading. In other words, one plays for an hour and the other plays for an hour. What a night. And they were charging $5 in them days. $5 to see that.
How long ago was that?
Oh, it's about 2014. It was the first time I seen.
That's not too long ago. What, 5 years?
Awesome. What a band.
It's crazy because people, what you're providing for $5 is insane. A band, something to eat.
No, it's
on a Tuesday night. Oh, that's crazy.
It's a dear pint somewhere.
Man.
It's a dear pint. But anyway, we went to see Triggerman, and we took a busload. Well, busload. There was about a dozen of us went up to Derry and play in the Nerve Centre. It was the last ever gig on Earth, as they called it. What a night. The band played before them was called Liddy J, and they were changing. She's got like a husky voice, very ACDC type mode in the day. But anyway, they were changing guitars, and one was leaving, one was coming in. Mm-hmm. So they had 4 guitarists on stage with a bass and drums. What a sound. It was just phenomenal. I actually said the word properly. I'm amazing.
And the first time I wasn't going to pull you on it, but
anyway, that was amazing. So that place was sold out. Well, I think it was sold out. It was rammed. There's a mosh pit behind us. We were on the rails, me and the missus. What a night.
So that's band number...
And we're just smiling.
That's the first of your top 3.
Yes.
Who's number 2?
Well, I have to say the Screaming Eagles. The Screaming Eagles are from Banbridge. Chris Fry in voice. He's incredible. He actually got singing with whatever you call the orchestra down in Dublin. Whatever you call them. I don't know what you call them, to be honest. He fronted them for a couple of songs.
Right.
Which is quite amazing for a guy from Banbridge. Like, you know, he has some voice. Eddie McLennan on guitar. Wow. There's like an ACDC vibe to it. And obviously they're big fans of ACDC. And just brilliant. We've seen them so many times, to be honest. Phenomenal. And who would be my third band? You see, there's so many bands, you can't break it down. You can't really break these numbers down, but there's so many bands around there. I mentioned a little bit earlier on, Superb.
Yeah. But
there's another band locally called Trucker Diablo.
Right.
Now, Trucker Diablo would be really heavy rock. They played the Boppers to the big end. Man, they took the roof off. It was just lethal. 100 mile an hour. But not as a metal fashion. It was just rock, heavy rock.
Yeah.
Brilliant. So the lead singer is a guy called Tom Hart. He was the first guy I actually played in the railway, our first night. He does his own acoustic stuff as well, like all original. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. So he's playing the diamond the same night we have the metal night. So he's playing support to a guy called Danny Vaughan. You heard of him?
No.
He's the lead singer of a band called Takato. They're a big band from the 80s and 90s and like. But anyway, so that's the combination of having the diamond's acoustic night, okay?
Yeah.
We have the metal night.
Yeah, so if you want a proper rock night.
Well, they'll probably hear us in Huckle, the metal, they'll probably hear us.
They stand out saying, oh, what is that?
What is that? Is that McVitty again? All right, okay.
To Cookstown.
So but there's so many other bands like Baleful Creed. They're a band from Newton Yards.
The amount of local bands is insane that you
can rhyme off a dozen bands.
You don't hear of.
Oh, man,
but they don't get the exposure that like even Irish country bands are getting. Like they're getting massive amounts of exposure. But there's bands you're saying that I've never heard of.
Well, there's so many bands in the are bigger outside Northern Ireland than.
Yeah, and you're saying that they're in Europe.
There's a band called, have you heard of Maverick?
Maverick? No.
Oh, check them out, man. They're playing the Diamond once time in the day. Awesome band. And they're all young boys. Well, I wouldn't say young, they're now in their late 20s and they're like, suppose that is young compared to me, but You know what I mean?
Saying
Well,
nothing.
your age group.
I'm
your age
saying
group.
nothing before getting in trouble.
And they're so good, like, you know, so good. Who else is there's? There's a band. Come to be back to me a second. I feel like there's so many bands around here today. Like they're just class.
It's crazy how many there are. Now let me flip that on the last question on its head. Have you ever been to see big bands that have been disappointing?
Oh yes, some are shocking. Like.
What are your top 3 like most disappointing gigs?
You see, this is where some boys would fall out with me, to be honest. Okay, we seen Kiss last year. God, it was awful.
Really?
In my opinion, okay. Other people are going like, "Oh, I've seen Kiss," but really, you can see them, but it's a show. It's not.
It's not Kiss playing. It's
not the music. Okay, it's the music, but at the same time, it's not. It's a show. It's pyrotechnic. It's all the pantomime stuff that goes along with it. You know.
Yeah.
So I'm not into that sort of thing, to be honest. All my mates are going to go see Rammstein. Have you heard Rammstein?
Oh yeah.
I want to go see Rammstein. We're like, why?
They've got all the flamethrowers and all that crazy shit.
What we do? Yeah. It's the music.
Yeah.
You know, you're sitting there going like, I listen a lot when I'm driving, okay?
Yeah.
So I put them on, like, and go, what's the fuss about that band? There's so many bands in there way better than that, like, you know, and you go like, what's that about? But anyway, it's the show. They want to see the show.
Yeah.
The big cock going up in the middle of the flaming cock, or whatever it is, like, you know, cock blowing bubbles out. Wow.
Yeah. But I suppose a lot of them stadium bands now rely on that, you know, for that big stage show.
I'm not really into stadium shows. I don't. First of all, I find them ridiculous money, obviously, in the first place.
Yeah, ticket price is crazy.
Oh,
crazy.
Dear. We went down to see ACDC about, 2010. They played Punchestown. And the support band was The Answer. I mentioned Cormac Neeson earlier on there. That was the first time we seen The Answer. They were the better band that day, by a mile. But, well, you can't say it to ACDC fans. They go like, you can't say that.
Yeah.
What they were outstanding. And it started raining that day, to be honest, and Angus and the guys all come down to walk by. It started raining, and said they looked their age then, because you can't hide. You can't hide it when your hair's wet, you know. But it was awesome.
So who else has disappointed you?
For sound wise, we've seen UB40 years ago, and they played it was the King's Hall then. The sound was awful, and their stuff's all the same, to be honest. Like, it's nothing.
Yeah.
So we went for a change.
Was it an engineering kind of issue as opposed to a band issue? Was it?
I think it was just both.
Instead of column A and column B.
It was just the way wet, like, you know. Sometimes you I'm not working tonight. Let's go to that gig there, like, and you realise that was awful, like, you know.
Yeah.
That's the way it happens, like, you know. Sometimes you go like, what was that about, like, you know.
Yeah, but there's people like you that go to a lot of gigs, but then there's people that maybe were waiting on that gig and don't go to gigs, and you know, we're building it up, and then have a real rubbish night.
Even my favourite band, okay,
Mm-hmm.
they have one of the worst gigs I was at as well, because their whole thing didn't work from their tech stuff. In other words,
the PA,
not even the PA, the aspect of the foot pedals and all for the guitars and all that. So the main guitars couldn't get the stuff to work.
Oh crap!
And then the lead singer, sorry Brian, he had flu that week and his voice wasn't really with it. So it was just the show didn't really work out for him. Even though I adore the guys, it was awful.
Dude, I used to run when I was doing singing.
I'm being honest.
I used to run my backing tracks off a laptop, but I was using the laptop from day to day, and I was watching movies in bed. So the fan was sucking up all the dust out of the bed. So I went to play a gig one night, and I was in the middle of singing "Dock of the Bay" by Otis Redding. Everything just went. Everything just went real slow.
You could come in the metal night and stand in, so you could.
Everything just went to shit. The laptop just turned off, and I was like, "What the fuck just happened?" And all these people just turned around just to say, you know, they hadn't been listening all night, but they heard that. you
have potential for a metal band. You don't realise it.
I only think that. It's because these mics are so lovely and bassy. That's all it is.
I can hear you.
No, I don't. It's not for me, man.
Okay.
But like when you have any form of technology relying on stage, it is, and then the sweat starts, and the sweat's dripping off your face. You're going, how am I going to get this laptop to work again? And you're having to wait for it to cool down to go back on. Oh man! And then I've had nights where you go and you've used your spare lead, and your lead breaks, and you're having to hold the mic lead a certain way to get you through the gig. Oh man, people don't understand what you have to go through to put a performance on sometimes.
But you disguise it well.
I don't. I know I don't. People are going, what is that guy doing?
It's
It can happen. It can happen.
Of course it can.
Definitely.
It can't always be perfect. Something's going to go wrong.
Yeah, definitely not.
And whatever happens, you just take it as it comes and go with it.
Yeah, big time, big time. I after that happened, I moved everything onto an iPad, and I thought that would cure it. But then I used to go from like one auxiliary lead right into the mixing desk, and then when I started the iPad, it was these 2 leads, and then I started to realize that now there's 2 leads that I could have an issue with as opposed to 1, and you'd be playing a backing track, and maybe it's recorded a certain way where some of it comes out the right, some of it comes out the left, and you're maybe waiting on a beat or a melody to come out for you to start singing, and it doesn't appear, and you're going. And the thing about backing tracks is they don't forgive you. Yeah. They don't go back round again. They definitely do not. A live band will forgive you and go, oh, we'll run back round again and you come back in. Nope. No, you're just screwed.
Well, I got a scare. When you talk about things going wrong, I got a wee scare recently, I must admit. The last band was playing. Right, I'm going to say it, okay, anyway. There's no big slag then today. But you think everything's in order, okay? And you get a text at 9:30 the night before. Who's doing the sound?
Oh no,
Mucker! I thought you were bringing the PA with you. So I'm texting Oren McGuckin, by the way.
Yeah, Apex Studios.
Superb.
Oren's a good dude.
And to be honest, that's another aspect that works in. In other words, because we all enjoy the aspect of what we're doing, it suits them too. But the point is, you're bringing live music in, and you're highlighting all the guys around you. In other words, Oren, the sound tech, whatever. It's brilliant, and it all falls into place. But anyway, I'm texting like, I haven't got Oren's number. What am I going to do here? So I'm panicking for an hour. It's like a cold sweat going down me.
Yeah.
He said, I'll get back to you. I'm going, okay. Christ, I've got no sound for tomorrow. What are we going to do? This is the first time. Oh,
it'll be a very quiet gig with no PA.
yeah. Just go through the motions there, mime it there, whatever. And within an hour, Oren said, I no bother. He was doing his thing, so he had no phones, nothing to...
Yeah.
Do whatever. He was actually doing a practice of the Reaper that night. I'm going
to go on the Reaper, man.
I aged about 5 years and about 10 minutes that night, you know.
Ah, dude, I've been there. I have been there.
I look about 45 now, don't I?
You're looking close then. I wouldn't maybe put you that far, but
I'm being kind to myself.
Well, dude, your next big one is the metal night, and then you have Blackwater Conspiracy.
Yeah.
What are the plans? You just going to keep going?
Oh, we've gigs laid up now for the next till November at the minute, and to be honest, there's always bands like Texan or whatever, or guys you bump into, and it just falls into place. There's nothing so arranged most of the time. And DVK Project, they played at Bappers recently. They're playing now in the future. Well, they text me the days any slots. I'm going do you fancy November? No. This is what about September? I'm going well, how does that suit you? Boom. Well, we're doing it.
And is it, how often do you run? Do you run once a week, once a fortnight, once a month?
Sometimes you're doing it through trial and error. In other words, will it work, will it won't? Because, at different times of the year, people have other things to do, obviously.
Yeah.
Sometimes the sun's out. People want to stand in the sun.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but they want to do that.
Crazy bastards.
Crazy dudes. I'd rather stand on an umbrella, that's normal. But anyway, what we're trying to do at the minute is now maybe say 2 Tuesdays and maybe one weekend one on Saturday night. But now it's going to be going to try and do it on Friday nights instead. 2 Tuesdays and 1 Friday. And at the minute it's working. It's more working. The aspect was the bands are so damn good. People want to see them, and you the promotion aspect of Facebook works. In other words, you create an event. Is
that where the people could find out where and or not where, but who's coming on and when they're coming on? So that's the best place to find out. Would it be?
Basically speaking, if you go to our website, which is on our website, our Facebook page, Cookstown Rock Blues Showcase, or even the Ruby Bar itself, it's all linked together. But the thing is, in the event, once you hit it, you'll see the band, and up comes a picture of the band, whatever it is. But now, I didn't realise some of these things you can actually do with Facebook. You can actually put a video in there.
I seen that today because I was doing a bit of research on the page.
I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
And the fact is, okay, people only look for maybe 3 or 4 seconds, whatever it is, at a certain item and move on to whatever.
Yeah.
That's why people are, And the fact that you can do that and show a band playing, I think it's awesome. It sells itself. Those you can hear the band, you can see them.
Yeah.
It's awesome. And so I have a habit now taking wee clips of various bands and playing, like, do obviously the sound check, put it out live on Facebook, whatever. Or they're going to go back maybe in 9 months' time or 6 months' time, whatever. Wee clip and then stick it in the thing, or just I wouldn't say regurgitating, but just bring it back to the surface again.
Yeah.
I think it's awesome, and it's Facebook.
It's right there in your hand.
When it's free, use it.
Yeah.
We tried to use the actual boost aspect.
Oh, it's a waste of time.
Oh, waste of time and money, like,
Big time.
They say, we can reach so many people, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, right.
I'm sure they can if they want to, but if you give them enough money, they'll reach wherever you want. But that's.
Well, no disrespect. I don't need somebody in Indonesia to like the page. Like, what's the point, So that's what's the point?
No.
We want somebody within 15, 20 miles. Etc.,
no Nigerian royalty, no.
Well, there's been a few, like, I offered to cut the grass, like, they had this big garden, etc. Did I ever tell you a story?
No.
You're long lost, blah, blah, blah. And next thing, we need maintenance for the estate, etc. I said, tell me the address and I'll go out and help you, like,
Oh, they want you to send out money, didn't they?
Yeah, dead on, man.
I'll send you a few pound here to cut your grass.
Love dragging them along, like,
Oh, that's great. It's like those guys that phone you up and say, is this Mr. McVitty? I believe you've been in an accident that you weren't at fault for. And I always reply with, I was at fault. You must be mistaken. And they always go, and then the phone goes dead. Or, well, they should have looked where they were going, shouldn't they?
Exactly.
And, what do you mean? Well, they should have looked where they were going. It's not my fault. And they just hang up the phone. So there's a wee tip for you if these guys ever phone you up.
To be honest, not recently, it was about a year back or more, like, the guy rings about the computer, like, we need to speak to your computer up. I said, no bloody way. I said, the last guy who rang, it's speeded that much up, fucked off out the house. It's gone. What do you mean, mister? What do you mean? Anyway, I digress.
Some of the scams out there. Oh yeah, that's right. We might be talking about music. So we have a tradition on the podcast. We're gonna wrap things up. Remember when we met earlier and you were saying, there's no way we're gonna get to an hour. Guess where we are.
Shit.
I told you, man. I can go on and on.
I can waffle. I waffle.
No,
and that's even without a pint in my hand. I must admit, that's quite.
I know. This is the first
or a cup of tea.
This is the first podcast I've done during the day, and it's been nice, refreshing.
Is this protection with the vampires or what?
I don't know. Well, that's what the crosses and the garlics for in the door.
Okay.
Just in case you thought I was going to season you. We have a tradition here in the podcast, John, and we finish every one of our podcasts and we ask the Actor Studio questions. And what they are is there was a show. I don't know if they still do it. So inside the Actor Studio, there's this acting school, and they bring in a famous actor, and James Lipton interviews them. And at the end of the interview, he asks these same 10 questions to everyone, and everyone's answers are different, obviously, because everyone has different opinion. But I'm going to ask you those questions. So, let's start with number 1. John, what is your favourite word?
I would have a saying, to be honest. And most people here in the Tuesday night, fiver lad.
Did the women get that too? Fiver ladette.
Something along the lines, yes.
Okay, number 2. What is your least favourite word?
Least favourite? God almighty. I don't have a least favourite, to be truthful, like.
I think that you hear and you go, Some people can't handle moist. Have you heard this?
No.
There's Google this when you go home. There's some people can't handle the word moist. It makes them cringe.
Oh yes, I do have. I have 2 words.
Go on.
Country and western.
That's 3 words.
So
country and western.
I've actually good friends who play country and western, like, but you know what I mean. Like, come on, seriously.
I'm saying nothing. You know what I mean? I'm saying nothing. Okay, number 3. What turns you on creatively, spiritually, or emotionally?
Being at a live gig where, for example, I was in Vienna recently. I came up, I don't know where it was at, but it was in Vienna to see Rose Tattoo. And we're lucky, it was like you can nearly describe it like a bomb shelter from maybe the Second World War. And it was 2 floors down. and it was about maybe 50 yards long. They had like a tabletop football thing where you could play in the corner. You walked in, lovely bar out there, like. But we got right down the front, and we were staring right at the guy singing, and we were right beside him. No bouncers, no nothing. Purely awesome.
Amazing.
Rose tattoo. I know the guys from the sort of maybe 80s, whatever, like, you know. I only got into the last year or two. Friends who took me to, I was actually driving the bus. I see them in Belfast, Line Night 2, they're playing them. Unbelievable. Angry Anderson's 71. He sings like...
He's 71?
71. He sings like he's a guy in his 30s. Adrenaline, the power, the whole band. You've got ex-ACDC players. You've got Mark, who plays the bass. Wow. What a band. Absolutely. 100 Men are the first 5 songs when they play on set. There's just a drum beat and straight to the next one.
There's no gap, just straight through.
Well, we seen him play somewhere else recently. I'm not going to name where it was, but anyway, his phrase, once they finished them 5 songs, he says, "We didn't come here to fuck around."
Just straight through. You have to admire a man with that kind of energy.
So anyway, when they finish, which comes back to what my least said word was, at the end, you got, say, 100 Men rock. And at the very end, they finish, go off the stage, and on comes Waltz and Matilda. I'm going, kill me now.
Oh, man. This will probably be the answer for number 4 then. What turns you off?
Irish country western. Oh, big time, man.
Oh, man.
I've a lot of guys who obviously they adore it.
Obviously, you've never heard of Daniel Newman, right? Question number 5. What is your favorite curse word?
Motherfucker.
Is that for 4? Is that for the answer? Have you ever heard of Daniel Newman, or is that the answer for number 5?
That probably links both together.
That is the two. Well,
motherfucker, in the day, to be honest, is a band. We follow a band. We'd stalk another band, but we stalk a lot of bands, as you realise, and they're called Bullets and Octane, and they're from LA.
Right.
So we seen them a couple of years back, and we get a chance to go and see them when they play. Like, they played Belfast once, and they played here, there, and everywhere. Like, but anyway, one of their famous songs is "Bad Motherfucker." It's class. It's 100 mile an hour music.
Yeah.
It's rock. It's not metal. It's rock. Man, they're an awesome band. So I have a denim jacket, and I have a cutout at the back of it. Bad Motherfucker.
Take it you don't wear that down to Tesco's.
Well, not recently, no. Not recently.
The kids pointing at you. Mommy, what does that say?
Is that a dick in his back? No, it's not, son.
No, it's a snake. A very small snake. Number 6. What sound or noise do you love?
Oh, what sound or noise? When you hear certain... Well, this is me back to music, and then when you hear certain intros to certain songs...
Yeah.
Like when you hear Thunderstruck, the start of it.
Yeah.
You know, it gets the back of your hairs and the back of your neck just going mental, let alone stand straight up, like, you know, you're going like, wow. But then there's other ones that say, back to Rose Tattoo again, like, or even my favourite band, the local guys I mentioned, like Massive Wagons, etc., over in England, and you hear some of their old songs being played, and you go like, fuck, it's awesome, man. That's the sounds I love.
Perfect. Well, number 7 is the opposite of that. What sound or noise do you hate?
When you were at school, right, after the old screech of the old chalk and the blackboard, remember chalk? Actually, it was chalk, and still don't have it anymore. That's all
whiteboards and markers, yeah.
Yeah, the screech of that chalk. But the screech of women's voices at times drives me insane. Jesus, man. I drive a bus now again, so you have a party bus, whatever, like, and you have women screeching behind you, like,
yeah,
and you go like, sweet mother of God, what's going on there, motherfuckers, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry, I'm cursing too much there.
You're just hoping there's no puke in the bag.
No, I don't care about that. It's the noise, my God, it does your head, like, you know.
Yeah.
But that's the downside to that aspect.
It's all part of the job.
God, it does your head. Hence I've got the headphones most of the time I'm driving, because I've got the headphones on, disguises the point I can't hear the screech.
Brilliant. Number 8. What profession, other than your own, would you like to attempt?
At my age, I'm long past all that, to be honest, like, you know, just past 57, so finding something, a new vocation, it's not going to happen, like.
Well, let's restructure the question then.
What would like to have done when I was younger?
Yeah, say 30 years ago. No, sorry, 20 years ago. We're not going.
Obviously, you'd love to have actually learned to play an instrument, but never the patience to sit down and do it. People laugh. I love to actually play soccer professionally. They're like, I used to play a bit of soccer, but the guys play with you shite, like, to be honest, like, you know.
They brought you down.
They brought me down, like, you know.
Yeah, if it wasn't for those guys.
Brought me a level I just couldn't sustain, you know.
Who do you support?
I'm a Spurs supporter.
Oh, fuck.
I know.
I'm a fucking Arsenal supporter.
We are the pride of Northern London. Read.
It was all going so well for...
We've got that saying now.
For an hour.
we had that saying thrown at us a long time ago. It's called mind the gap. Yes, mind the gap.
You know, you can't do it every year.
Yeah.
You can't. You have to. Sometimes you have to put those wee olive branches out and let Spurs have their wee moment of. What's that? He's won the Audi Cup there.
I know we've got silverware. That's right, silverware.
I know.
It's the first time in a while.
Oh, dude. Number 9 would be the opposite of that. What profession would you absolutely not like to do?
God almighty. Bouncer. I hate to be a bouncer. Only because of the shite they have to listen to, like on a Saturday.
Like a nightclub bouncer. Like.
That I admire what they do, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But the shit they have to listen to, like.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's insane.
And it's not.
I
just,
respect them for what they do, like.
Not
sometimes
just from gays, like this.
Oh man,
I've seen some wicked women out there.
Oh.
Who put gays to shame, completely put gays to shame the way they try and deal with bouncers.
And have you seen that same person 2 or 3 hours earlier go like, no, that wasn't the same girl, was it?
And alcohol's a wonderful thing.
A wee bit of bucky and that's the way she goes, alright, okay.
Right, number 10. This is the last one, then I'll let you go. If heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say when you arrive at the pearly gates?
Welcome, motherfucker.
Brilliant. I don't know if he'd say that, but yeah, why not? Yeah. Why not?
What he says after that, I wouldn't know, like, to be honest, but you know how it is, like, you know. That would be good. I'd appreciate that.
Yeah. Brilliant. Well, John, tell everybody where they can find you on Facebook, where they can find your rock nights and your music nights.
By the way, I still can't believe I sat here and talked for so long with you. Not in a negative way. I mean, I can't believe this, okay? Where can you find us?
Yeah.
You can find us on Facebook. Simply look up Cookstown Rock Blues Showcase. And if you can't find that, go to the Railway Barn and you can link through to see the events that are coming up. Recently, we had about 600 likes. And I found out we niche, which was accidental, to be honest. When I said about 1,700 likes inside about 1,700 likes inside a year for
that's quite good.
A place that's just doing, occasional music.
And what would you say to somebody who hasn't been to your shows?
Get there.
Yeah.
Motherfucker.
If you like live music, just come.
Oh man. If you go, I guarantee you'll be back, I'd say 3-4 times in the next 4 or 5 months after that, easily. The colour bands we have is outstanding. A lot of the bands people obviously never heard of because they're not all local bands, obviously. So we have a band coming in November, and we keep going back to Blackwater Conspiracy. It's a band called Electric Vultures, and man, you want to hear that band play, and they're playing support to them. And the guys then today who. Most of these bands don't get gigs because there's no point putting gigs on, to be honest. For people to actually go and enjoy them play, there might be a background sound in some place in the day, but the point is nobody goes to see them actually play and enjoy the music and actually have a social yarn with the guys afterwards and whatever, So that's our game. And some of the bands we've had, I'm not joking you. One of the guys in the Lonesome. I always get this wrong. I always get the words wrong. Lonesome Highways Blues Band. I put it down the calendar, or not the calendar, the advert as Lonesome Blues Highway Band. And it sat for 3 or 4 days before somebody actually realised it was a mistake. And it was one of the guys in the band, but his wife actually told him, Peter says, "It was my wife told me. He didn't see the spelling mistake or the wording, whatever, But they brought out a charity single recently for the lifeboats, the guys who do the lifeboats in North Coast. Right. He's the next guy who used to do that. He want to concentrate on his music.
Yeah.
So because he can't play music and his pager goes off, you know.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Runner, like, you know. So he's got a song and it's actually very good, to be honest. Can't remember the name, but sorry, but it's there somewhere.
We'll link it below. People want to check that out. Anything else you want us to link below for people to check things out? I suppose the upcoming bands you have.
Well, we'll link them bands into it. Yes, we have. We've almost got new bands coming along, and how do you put it? This may sound quite strange. We've actually got a Polish band coming in the near future. Everybody in the band's Polish.
Cool.
Which I think is quite amazing.
That is great.
And they're from the Dungan area, but hopefully we get something sorted. They'll be coming under, like, you know, Beauty and the Bits.
Ah, you have to wonder what be going through these guys' names and the name of those bands, though.
Well, if you do come along, you realise who the Beauty is. You know, she can sing.
Oh, good.
Mm-hmm. But who else we coming? We try to keep sort of the local bands turning. There's a guy from Oma called Brain Shake. And they've actually played a festival called Bonfest. Bonfest is based in Currymore in Scotland. That's where Bon Scott was born.
Right.
Many moons ago. So they have a festival every year. It's the first bank holiday in May every year. It's awesome. We did it once. Screaming Eagles are playing there, by the way. We were there. Awesome.
I take it you're quite the fan of the Screaming Eagles. They've been name dropped more than the Railway Bar or your actual show.
I've seen them once or twice, you know. I've seen them once or twice. But they played there and they were blown away. So they played back and they played Tuesday night. It was about 30 odd there. Man, it was rocking, like absolutely rocking. And we had a gig on Good Friday past, and it was Rusty Jackson, Draperstown. Have you heard of them? Like a blues southern band.
No, I haven't heard of them. No.
Lethal. They do things that people, how do you put it? I was just talking about was the guitarist. He's walking past you and they walking out round playing the guitar, and they, you know, that's a real talking point. The people go like,
yeah,
holy fuck, look at that. Look at your man. Yeah. Well, they follow him round, like they stalk him, like not me for change. But they're playing on 2nd November. So we've a good how do you put it?
Good eclectic range.
Good variable bands coming in today who are all very, very good. And they're all linked to look like, as I say, the bands have played at Bappers. We've got Midnight Station coming. All the Donnelly boys are involved in that band. Awesome, man. Ben Ritchie's singing in front of them. He gets very nervous about singing, but fuck, when he sings. He's really clinical voice, like, you know.
Well, I look forward to coming in and seeing what's
trust
happening.
Me, you'll be disappointed. And there's very few people in fact, there's nobody walks away disappointed. Right. Because the supper. You always stuff your face with supper.
If you don't like music, you'll like food. Well, John, thanks so much for joining us, man.
I enjoyed it. Thank you very much.
And it has been a pleasure.
Thanks for the invite.
Cheers. Thanks so much. Guys, thanks so much for watching. And if you want to hit up John on Facebook and go and like the page, that'll keep you updated with all the things that are going on. Thanks very much, guys. See you again. Bye.
You've been listening to Educating Aiden. But the conversation doesn't stop here. If you have any questions or just want to find out about upcoming episodes, then follow Educating Aiden on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Like and subscribe on YouTube and hit that notification bell. Thanks for listening.